In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add a new business listing to your site. To do so, you want to be logged into your admin dashboard. You can hit this new and then hit listing, and it'll open a page up like this. So I went ahead and already filled out a few of the content fields, but here you see is where you put the listing title. We do have two fields here for metadata descriptions. These are the descriptions that populate Google searches, so it's important to put a small blurb in here. And you'll see that we have character guides to the right for you as well. And the most important part for the listings is going to be this listings options field. So the first tab, listing information, we have a field for the listing ID, which you can type in. We have a field for a description. We have the listing face, so you can put coming soon, pending, for sale, or sold. And we'll leave it on for sale for the sake of this example. And then here's where you would put the agent or owner ID for this listing. The second tab we have is titled About the Opportunity. Here we have different opportunity points that show up as bullet points on your website. So to add any of these is really easy. You'd hit this blue Add a Point button. You would type in your content, and you have full control of how these are displayed by dragging and dropping and using this gray box as your control trigger. Now if you ever wanted to remove any of these, you can do so by hovering on the right hand side and hitting the minus button to remove it. And that covers the opportunity points. Next we have the value proposition. This is an open rich text area which functions much like a Word document. So you see it's very easy to write content in this area. And here you see all of the paragraph controls to format your text and content. And we'll get rid of this line. Oops. Okay. The next tab is very important. It's other important information. And here we decided to list key differentiators. But this area is another rich text area, so it's really up to you what content you want to add to this section of the listing. Probably the most complicated section is this by the numbers. In here we have set up controls where you can build your own charts. So when you first start this, you only have the gray bars, and to add rows, you can go in either direction. You can add them horizontally or as columns or as rows. So if you wanted to add another column, you would just hit that plus button. If you wanted to delete a column, you hit the minus. And like the other functions, you have control in the way that these are displayed by dragging and dropping the darker gray areas. Now same thing, if we wanted to add another row, click add row. And if you wanted to remove it, you would hit this minus. Now once you have all of the fields you need set up, you just click inside the bubble and type in your content. And again, if you want to remove any of these rows, you just hit the minus button and it'll get rid of it. Now over here to the right, you'll see the featured image section of the listing. This is where you upload the photo associated with this particular listing. And above here we have the listing categories. I selected food for this listing, but if you ever wanted to add a new one, you'd hit this add new listing button. You'd put your listing category, and you'd hit this add new listing category button to add it to the list. Now, very important to remember, anytime you create a new page on your site or you make any changes to a page that's already existing, you want to come to this publish field and make sure you either update your changes or publish them. So for this listing, we're going to go ahead and publish them. And if we click this URL, here we see our complete business listing. So we have the title, we mark that it's for sale. Here we have our about the opportunity points, the value proposition. This is the open field where you can import other information. Here we have the chart we created for the by the numbers section. And up on this right hand side we have the form associated with this listing.